I am John Davis Marshall, your lifestyle architect. If my coaching can be beneficial for your professional life, then or my counseling can be helpful for your personal life, then extend your experience with me by way of my website, www.johndavismarshall.com. And while you're there, browse my page, see if one of my services can be of help. Bless your life with one of my books. Subscribe to Matters Magazine. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share this video. Remember, every Wednesday, we share family matters. The Bible is a book of family stories, not just a church book, but it is a book of family stories. And those family stories teach us how to live in the world, not only in the family, but also it teaches us how to live as fellow believers in the church. But it's a family book. And for that reason, we want to examine one of the family stories today. God is always the main character in every story. But then Joseph is one of the significant characters also. Joseph, the one whose brothers sold him into slavery in Egypt, who welcomed them, took care of them, nurtured them for years, and their father has now died, and suspicion is running rampant among his brothers. In Genesis chapter 50 and verse 15, they share with each other their thoughts and feelings about Joseph hosting a grudge or revenge. But there was no grudge and there was no revenge within Joseph. But what caused that problem? Suspicion. And may I tell you that suspicion will destroy healthy family relationships. If you are suspicious of your brothers, the likelihood is very high that that suspicion has negatively impacted your relationship and your fellowship with them. So do something about that suspicion. Suspicion will destroy our vision. Yes, suspicion will bring philosophical blindness into the hearts of one whom otherwise is able to see clearly. Suspicion will destroy our vision. Suspicion will cause us to fail to see that which is there. Suspicion will cause us to overlook, fail to see that which is in existence. It happened to Joseph's brothers. It has happened to others. It will happen to you and me. Suspicion will cause us to fail to see that which is in existence. Because of their suspicion, Joseph's brothers failed to see the forgiveness that was within him, even though he stated it to them. But their ears were clogged with suspicious minds, and they either did not hear it, they did not believe it, or they just didn't think they could trust it. Listen to the biblical verse, Genesis 45 and verse 4. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please come closer to me." And they came closer. And he said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Now do not be grieved or angry with yourselves, because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth, and to keep you alive by a great deliverance. Now, therefore, it was not you who sent me here, but God. And he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his household, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father, and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Do not delay. You shall live in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me and your children and your children's children and your flocks and your herds and all that you have. There I will also provide for you, for there are still 5 years of famine to come, and you and your household and all that you have would be impoverished.'" Now, doesn't that sound like Joseph has forgiven his brothers of the mistreatment that they did toward him? But guess what? Because of suspicion, they didn't see it. They failed to see forgiveness, even though it was stated to them. He said, "Come, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to see to it that you get through these next 5 years." And notice, not one word of revenge, not one word of anger, not one word of frustration. Because of their suspicion, Joseph's brothers failed to see the forgiveness that was within him, even though he stated it. Because of their suspicion, Joseph's brothers failed to see the forgiveness that was in him, even though he showed it to them for 5 years. Look again at Genesis 45 and 11. There I will also provide for you, for there are still 5 years of famine to come, and you and your household and all that you have would be impoverished. Well, if Joseph had a grudge, he would have let them stay in Canaan and die. But he didn't do that. He stated forgiveness and he showed forgiveness for 5 long years. And we have good reason to believe that during that 5 year period, he treated them so graciously. Could they not see? No, they couldn't. Suspicion caused them to fail to see that which was present. Why did Joseph's brothers fail to see that forgiveness that was within Joseph? Here is why. Suspicion just caused them to fail to see that which was present. Their own guilty conscience destroyed their vision. My friend, if you want to improve relationships, if you want to improve how you view any person, always start with forgiveness. If you're trying to help someone to improve the quality of their relationship, first call for forgiveness. Now, I know they first want to tell you how bad they were treated, how bad they were mistreated. That may be true, but if we're going to solve this issue, there must be forgiveness in the hearts of the person who initiates the reconciliation effort. My friend, suspicion will destroy healthy family relations. It destroyed Joseph's brothers, and it will destroy your relationship. Do you fail to see the goodness, forgiveness that's in your brother? Are there people who fail to see the forgiveness, the goodness that's within you? They have difficulty getting over their suspicion. Well, make no mistake about it. Whatever happens to them toward you can also happen to you toward them. So we start out with forgiveness if you have mistreated someone, and repentance if you have mistreated someone, and forgiving them if they have mistreated you, and you are very likely to improve the reconciliation effort. My friend, suspicion will destroy healthy family relationships. It will cause you to fail to see the good that is there, and you will focus on the imaginary bad that's not even there. I am John Davis Marshall, your lifestyle architect. Thanks for taking the journey with us on Wisdom to Wealth. Remember, every Wednesday, we explore family matters. If my coaching can help you professionally, or my counseling can help you personally, then extend your experience with me. Visit my website, johndavismarshall.com. While you're there, browse the site, bless yourself with one of my books, and subscribe to Matters Monthly magazine. And by the way, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Help us to reach the next level. Subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video so that our numbers and our exposure will be greater. And don't ever forget that indeed it is true, a better you begins with a grace view of God. That's why we want you to always be gripped in His grace and mesmerized by His mercy.